Hey guys, Joe Burnich with Big West Marketing Carpet Cleaning Websites.net. This video is primarily for our SEO clients to kind of give them an update on what's going on with Google and the new mystery update, as it's been coined by some of the big SEO websites out there. So Marianne in our office here wrote an article that basically gives a breakdown of what this new Google update is all about, how it may affect you or not affect you. And so before I get started and get into some of the details of what Google is saying and what we've seen, I just want to let you know this has not affected the Maps section, the most important section right now, the Google My Business, the Google Maps, the Google Places section, whatever you want to call it. That has not been affected as far as we can see with any of our clients. Okay, so this will affect strictly the organic rankings from what we've seen so far. And all we've seen is a handful of our sites. We have seen some fluctuations in the organic results, but typically, whenever Google comes out with a new update like this, stuff bounces all around for a couple weeks. And as long as all the guidelines are being met, those sites usually settle back into their organic rankings, and many times they jump up higher because of the work that we've done organically on the websites as well. So if you're one of the clients that has seen some fluctuations in organic rankings, let's sit tight for a couple weeks. If after a couple weeks we still are seeing some issues with organic, then we will make some changes. We might have to do some analysis on the website content and stuff that's actually on the website, which is what this update is all about. So when Google comes out with these new updates, they either affect two things. They either affect stuff that's on the website, the actual stuff that you can see, stuff that your visitors can see on the website, which is a Panda update, which is what we're looking at this time. The other type of update that comes out is called a Penguin update, which affects things that are off of the website. So links coming into the website, directories out that your business may be listed on, off of your website, such as Yelp or Merchant Circle, any kind of social media stuff that's not actually on your website. That kind of stuff has to do with a Penguin update. But this time we're talking about Panda. We're talking about a Panda update, meaning stuff that is directly on your website that you can look at, that your visitors can look at. All right? So, and it's not that much different than what Google has been talking about before, and what we have been kind of preaching before is good, clean content. No duplicate pages. No playing games with having a bunch of city pages where just the city name is changed and all the rest of the words are the same. That kind of stuff. That's kind of stuff that Google's tightening up even more. All this update is doing is tightening up the guidelines. Okay, all the guidelines, from what I can tell, have stayed pretty much the same, but now Google's just kind of tightening up. They're going out and they're finding more and more sites that were getting away with stuff. Now they're not getting away with stuff, and we can expect many more of these types of updates to come up, where Google is just kind of figuring out new ways to tighten up the guidelines and take care of sites out there that have what they consider a spammy element to them. So Marianne wrote this article, which is pretty good, just gives a good summary of what I just said right there. And she actually quotes some people from Google that are talking about the new update. And then she put in a link over to the Google blog so that we can get an idea of what Google's looking at when it comes to these changes and these updates. So you can click on this link as well and follow along if you like. But a couple things I just want to highlight here. It's all about having a high quality site, okay? And then Google goes down and lists bullet points what they consider to be high quality, okay? And basically what Google's trying to get away from is just sites that have a bunch of information out there just to rank on Google. Not that, if it's not there to help a potential client, then it probably shouldn't be on your website. That's kind of like a rule of thumb. I've talked about having duplicate content on your website. If you go out and start a brand new website and you're just copy and paste stuff all over the internet, putting it on there, maybe changing a few words and calling it your own, chances are that website's not going to rank. Now, how does some sites like the big ones like ServPro and these big franchises, how do they get away with having duplicate content on all of the different franchisees' websites, and they still rank a lot of the times? How do they get away with doing that is a big question I get a lot. And the reason is because they have a trust and authority score with Google that most small businesses, single truck operators, even a lot of the multi-truck operators, they don't have that same trust that ServPro has, that ChemDry has, that the big franchise has. Their websites don't have the authority score and the trust that's built up with Google that the big guys do. So you can't compare apples to apples when you're talking about somebody that works from their home and they've got one or two trucks and they've got a couple websites out there. They're not going to get the same authority in this. They're not going to be allowed to do the same things that the big guys are allowed to do. And it's all about what's called authority. It's a domain authority score is what it's called. Okay, and I'm not going to get into the details of that, but I just want people to know that that's always a big thing. Well, how did these guys get away with it, but I can't do it? Okay, that's how they have a higher authority score than you do typically. So so Google addresses, does the site have duplicate or overlapping redundant articles? So you have a lot of duplicate pages on your website or redundant pages on your website. You don't want that anymore. It used to work in the past somewhat, and I know it still works sometimes. You'll see people doing it still. It's still a bad idea. Okay, those are called gateway pages. It's a bad idea. Let's see. Another big one is, and I encourage you to read this stuff on your own. Let's see. Does the article provide original content or information? That goes back to the duplicate content. Is the content mass-produced or outsourced by a large number of creators? That goes back to you don't want to have a bunch of the same content that other websites out there have, especially if you're copying and pasting from big websites like Stanley Steamer or ChemDry or ServPro or one of those guys. If you're copying content off those, then Google's going to look at it as you taking advantage of that mass-produced content. They want you to have something original. That's why whenever we create a website for somebody or redo a website for somebody, we always run everything through a program called copyscape.com so that we know if that page or that article or that group of words has been copied from somewhere else. Sometimes we'll take a home page of somebody and we will run it through Copyscape and we'll find 50 different instances of that same page with maybe a few variations across the internet. So what we'll do is we'll hire a writer to either rewrite that stuff or write something completely new. We'll run it through Copyscape. If it comes back clear, then we'll know it's okay to put on the website. That's how we make sure that you have what Google is calling, original content on your website. Those are the big things, okay? There's a bunch of little stuff here, but the big stuff that I think applies to the carpet cleaning, restoration industry, or even any kind of small business website when it comes to organic rankings has to do with the stuff that I just mentioned right here. So like I said, scroll down below this video and click on the link that Marianne put in there. Read the article, click on the link, and just skim through this stuff and see if maybe your website could possibly be in any kind of violation of this stuff. Now, if we find out that some of our clients, have had stuff copy and pasted from other people, then we are going to take action on that. So I just want to let you guys know you're in good hands. We're taking care of you. This is the kind of stuff that we've been preaching for a couple years now. But I want to let you know Google is once again tightening up on their guidelines. If you think you may be affected by it and you want to talk to us, get a free consultation, give us a call, 406-493-1881. Once again, my name is Joe Burnage, Big West Marketing and CarpetCleaningWebsites.net. Have a good day.